Hello, my name is Femi and you are welcome to Easy Murmur using Apartment M, Doctor's SSRI. Yes, the SSRI we are familiar with, the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. The idea of mnemonic is to simplify complex medical concepts with words that are more familiar. And prior to this time, I shared easy momos using Red Sea's SAD rep. It contain it contains essential momo information and I will recommend that you watch it too. Momos, they are extra sound produced in the heart as a result of turbulent flow through a valve. When the location of the momo is provided and its timing in the cardiac cycle is known, it is simple to identify the affected valve and make a diagnosis. Now we'll start with apartment M, APTM, doctor's SSRI. The APTM provides location of the momo, DRS and SSR provides the timing. APTM, the apartment M, they are areas in the heart on the anterior chest wall where you auscultate. We have the aortic and the pulmonic areas. These are the second intercostal space. Aortic is on the right side and pulmonic area is on the left side. The herpes point is in the third intercostal space. The tricuspid area is the left fourth intercostal space, and the mitral area is the fifth left intercostal space, which is the apex. Now we move to the doctor's SSR, DRS, SSR. Essentially, the D in the DRS and the S in the SSR, they give the timing in the cardiac cycle. So we have your diastolic murmur and your systolic murmur. Then the RS in the DRS and the SR, they give the diagnosis. The first layer, that's the diagnosis in the semilunar valves, and the semilunar valves are the what? The aortic and the pulmonary valves. Whereas the second layer, that's the S in the DRS and the R in the SSR, they provide the diagnosis in the atrioventricular valves. Then we have this. These are just specific murmur mnemonics. In the aortic stenosis, you have increasing and decreasing amplitudes. Then the presentation is either you have an elderly person who presents with syncope, angina, and dyspnea, as I would say, the sad elderly people, or you have somebody with hypercalcemia with deposits in the valve. Importantly, in aortic stenosis, we hear something like the murmur radiates to the carotid. In mitral regurgitation, very importantly, there is history of rheumatic fever. In mitral regurgitation and in stenosis, rheumitra, that's the mnemonic here, and it radiates to the axilla. Mitral stenosis, we have an opening snap. Whereas in tricuspid regurgitation, it's common among intravenous drug users. Here is a question of a 51-year-old female who presents with complaint of increasing breathlessness and breathlessness on exertion. She has been having difficulty in sleeping, says that she has to use 3 pillows to sleep at night. On examination, there is bilateral pedal edema up to the level of the calf width. crepitations bilaterally. Then auscultation of the heart reveals a pansystolic murmur at the cardiac apex. This line gives us the answer. So we have a systolic murmur in the mitral area. Now you remember that the mitral area is the mitral area, that's the cardiac apex. That line gives the option. Now look at the image I added to the question. A systolic murmur, go under systolic, mitral, so we have a regurgitation. Mitral regurgitation, that's the answer. And when you read further in the question, you see that this person is a non-asthmatic and has what? History of rheumatic fever, which is important. So we say rheumatic mitral, either mitral stenosis or mitral regurgitation. You have a history of rheumatic fever. Here's another question. 42 years old lady who had a corrective surgery for cyanotic congenital heart disease at the age of 3. On examination, a parasternal heave and a diastolic murmur at the left upper sternal edge. Then you've gotten your answer already. That singular statement gives you the answer. So diastolic murmur, left upper sternal border, that's the pulmonic area, second intercostal space on the left. So pulmonic area, diastolic, we are talking about pulmonary regurgitation, which is the answer here. So you can see how easy this is. Once you are given the location and the timing in the cardiac cycle, your answer is set. You can try this and this using the same concept that I've shared here. Now this question, 68 years old man who has repeated attacks of loss of consciousness and transient ischemic attacks. Now the diagnosis here is what? Carotid artery stenosis. I brought this up. Let's say this question is a little bit different. A 68-year-old man who has repeated attacks of loss of consciousness with angina, or patient he has history of angina, and patient was brought into the accident and emergency, dyspneic. So we have our SAD, forward aortic stenosis. So I just brought this so that we can bring up one or two clinchers. Thank you very much for listening. Cheers.